getting connected over here on Clubhouse. Hello, hello, and welcome. Tonight we're talking about why you should be aiming for excellence versus perfection. And I'm just getting started, getting set up. So when you come in, wave at me, let me know that you're here, post a comment, say hello so that I know that you're in the room. And then I am just connecting over on Clubhouse as well so that we can have a conversation this evening and get this thing going. Okay. So tonight I was sitting down and I was looking at some of the previous courses that I had created back in 2020, 2021. I was going through some of my graphics and just kind of taking a look at some of the things that I had done. And I was going through some of the trainings that I did with a few clients. And one of them was the Your Next Product. It's basically about helping them get their product up and get it out into the market, right? And as I was watching it, I was listening to what one of my clients was saying about how she was struggling with putting things out there and the encouragement that I gave her. And I was so glad that I listened to it. It was a good reminder for myself, but it was also something that I think I kind of live by, especially in business. And that is while we want things to be really great, and we can get stuck sometimes in the perfectionist space, we want to aim for excellence instead of aiming for perfection. So we're going to talk about that tonight, okay? My name is Makita Rodriguez, and I'm a coach, consultant, and digital agency owner. And I help you to create a successful business without the tech overwhelm, and I help you with work-life balance. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, post them. We can have a conversation here. But I want to take a few minutes tonight to kind of just talk about this. And if you see me looking in different places, it's because Instagram doesn't allow us to stream the same way that everything else does over here on StreamYard. So I have to have a few different tech tools set up, and then I'll be checking Clubhouse every once in a while to see if anyone is posted a comment there. So there are a lot of reasons why you would want to make sure you're not just trying to make sure that everything is perfect. So I'm not telling you to have low quality when you're putting anything out there. If you saw my post on Instagram or on any of the social media channels today, you would have saw that I talked about efficiency versus effectiveness, and I talked about production versus quality. And one of the reasons why I'm talking about this is because when we are wanting to get things done, we want to make sure that things are being done well, right? And if you are a person that's a high achiever, or you have high standards, or you just want to be proud of the work that you're doing, you want to make sure that what you're putting out is something that you're proud of. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we can get stuck in a space of feeling like everything has to be perfect. And when that happens, we get stuck. We get stuck because we can start procrastinating. We get stuck because we can feel like, I can't move until I get, completely done with step one, and step one is perfect and there's nothing wrong with it. And that would just make us stagnant. Okay. Even when I first started with creating courses, I had to learn that sometimes you have to create the course with your clients. Sometimes you have to get started, get going, and get the thing out there. And then as you create and co-create with your clients, then you'll be able to perfect it later on. You can always come back and get a thing done. When I first started blogging, I had to put out my website. I had to just be happy with what I did. I gave it I gave it 100%, all that I had at the time, right? And then I put it out there. And then I could come back later on and I can fix it and I could perfect it. If when I put out the actual blog post, I had done my best. And then if there was anything that I wanted to add to it or take away from it, I went back and I added to it and I took away from it. Now, you never want to put out anything that you don't feel good about. I'm not encouraging you to do that. But what I am telling you is that you don't have to be in this place of perfectionism. You don't have to make yourself feel like if it's not perfect, it does not get released, because it's never going to reach an actual state of perfection. We are human beings, and with that, there's always room for improvement. So there are a few things that happen when we are going through a stage of creation, or when we're putting things together. And when we start getting into that perfectionist mindset, like I said, we can end up feeling like we cannot move forward and we get stuck. But if you just focus on doing your best, if you just focus on, maybe you've written down the expectation that you could have, a realistic expectation of what would make you happy and what would make you proud, then you can start taking those steps to get the thing done in a way that is satisfying to you, that is satisfying to, the way that you want to have it produce and represent yourself. But if I'm completely honest, even in going live here tonight, there are certain things that could be better, right? But if you don't do it, you won't do it. If you don't start putting one foot in front of the other because you're afraid you're going to fall, you'll never walk. You'll never run. You'll never get to that next place because you're just afraid that you're going to make a mistake. And this is something that I talked about last night when we were talking. I mentioned that you have to make mistakes along your pathway to success because this is how you learn from experience. This is how you become better at what you do. You have to make mistakes. You have to take note of what it is that you've done, and how you would have liked to improve, right? You have to take note of what you did well so that you can celebrate yourself and you can celebrate, the achievement that you accomplished. And then something else that happens is you actually get to look back at yourself later on and say, wow, look how much I have improved. Look how well I have done. I remember going through the ClickFunnels training with Russell, and he was saying that, when he first started his podcast, he was doing it like every single day. And he encouraged everyone that when you do a podcast, just get started and then tell your story. And then years later, if you do it for years or months or what have you, you'll come back and you'll see how much you have improved, because that's what he had saw. He saw his amount of improvement just from getting started. So when you decide that you are going to just aim for your level of excellence, right? What you think is great instead of what you think is absolutely perfect, what you end up doing is the first thing, you get it done. That's the first thing you do. You get something done. You accomplish the task that you were seeking to complete, right? Now, like I said, by no means am I saying that you put out a product that you're not proud of. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you release something that doesn't make you happy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you determine what good and great is for you right now. You determine, you look at where you are, you make that checklist, you set the goals, you set the aspiration, and you go ahead and you work hard, you work smart, you work towards getting that thing done. And that's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to actually get it done. So, like, I was looking at the courses and everything that I was completing, and, I got those things done, and I was encouraging my clients to do the same thing. Get the work done. You won't generate any income. You won't make any money. You won't connect with people. You won't move forward. You won't grow. You won't get to your next level if you don't get something done. So you have to just get something done, right? So then the next thing that you do when you decide that you're going to be in a space of excellence instead of perfection is, you do your best. You do your best and you begin to see yourself. You begin to see yourself as you are. And when you look back, like I said, you see how much you have improved. I sat back tonight and I looked at some of the courses that I created, and I was proud of myself, right? And I mentioned this yesterday when we were talking, when I talked about the experiences of life, how no one can take from you what you have been through and that achievement because you've actually walked through it. You've actually got from one place to the next place, and you have achieved a level of success. It's like you are graduating through different levels of the school of life. And that's something that you should feel really, really good about. So that's the other thing that you do. And then this third thing that you do is when you get started, you get unstuck. So sometimes people we all get in this frame of mind. We can feel overwhelmed and we can feel like it's just too much going on right now. I'm not sure what I need to do. We can be in a planning phase, we can be in the brainstorming phase, we can be in the I want to do phase, and we're not in the action phase enough. And so, what I try to encourage is that you actually go throughout these different phases, freely, that you allow yourself to move through the phases as you are producing. Okay. Hi, that you move through the phases as you are producing. And when you do that, you begin to get unstuck because you're actually doing something. You're actually putting your foot, one foot in front of the other. You're actually choosing that the thing you are creating just needs to get done, right? And I cannot say this enough, that your level, your standard, it does matter, right? I'm just telling you that you should not aim for perfection. And I remember being inside of a clubhouse room one time and we were talking about perfectionists. And a lot of people were saying that they were overcoming perfectionists and things like that. And I just like to say that, I do things in the spirit of excellence. And the reason why is because I kind of always want it to be perfect. I kind of always want the thing to be at its best. But what I had to come to realize is that my best today is not going to be my best tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will be different, right? In 6 months or a year from now, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be better because I'm always growing. I'm always working on myself. I'm always putting one foot in front of the other. I'm always learning and doing and being the next level of me. So if I aim to be perfect, I leave no room for growth. I leave no room for myself to be better, to hit that next level, right? I also even leave no room for leadership. I leave no room for anyone to lead me, nor for me to be led by anyone else. And one of the best things that we can have is the community where we are being led and we are leading others. It's how we become who we are created to be in the spaces that we are in. So having this I guess like this satisfaction with the spirit of excellence, with enjoying what it is that you are creating, it actually frees you. It frees you because you no longer feel like, you're put in this box where there's no room. There's no room for flexibility. There's no room for growth. There's no room for mistakes. You give yourself the freedom to be and, to do and to imagine and to just enjoy the process. And so, really, this is something that I want to encourage you to do, to just slow down sometimes, even as you are creating, even as you are moving forward, even as you are dreaming and, thinking really big. It should just slow down enough to enjoy the process that you're going through. I'm not saying don't take action. I'm definitely saying take action, but I'm just saying that don't make it so that it has to be perfect, right? Um, and this is really what I wanted to encourage y'all through tonight. It's nothing that is long and strenuous, or if you want to comment, let me know that you're here. If you have anything you want to say or share, I'm here for that. I just feel like, as I'm going through these different phases and stages of what I'm doing, I know that there are a lot of you out here as well going through the same thing, or looking for encouragement, or searching for community, or trying to create your next product, right? I listened to the training, I re-listened to the training and I listened to my clients, and I was just amazed at how much I've grown, right? I was so proud of myself, but at the same time, I was amazed at how much I've grown. And then I listened to my clients and I started taking notes, right? And I thought about all the different trainings that I had been in before and how I had been encouraged to just get started. So, when you're creating a product, if you're deciding that you're going to have a service, sometimes you feel like if it's not absolutely perfect, you can't get started. Sometimes you feel like, I haven't recorded all the training, so I can't release it. I was encouraged by my leadership to just go ahead and get the thing out there. Just sell it and create it with your customers and your clients. And that's what I did, and I talked about this last night about how when I was learning graphic and web development, I had to first just get started. I knew enough to create the website. And if there was anything that came up that was challenging, I had on the job training. And so this is really what I'm encouraging you to do is like, be great at what you do. Absolutely be great at what you do, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. It does not have to be perfect. So that's basically what I have for you this evening. I want to thank you for joining me. I see that we have somebody over here in Clubhouse. Hello, thank you for joining me. I see that y'all have come in through Instagram and you're here on Facebook and YouTube. So thank y'all so much for joining me. I hope that you found encouragement in this, because what I don't want is for you to feel stagnant. I don't want you to feel like you cannot get to that next level because you're stuck. Get yourself unstuck, put one foot in front of the other, and start getting the thing done. Like I said, you do 3 things when you determine that you're going to work in a spirit of excellence versus perfectionism. You get it done, you become your best, and you leave room for improvement so you can see it, and you get started. You get yourself unstuck. You just get going. Go with the flow and allow yourself to become great. I just want to share one more thing, and then I'm going to get ready to go before I start babbling and just going on. A long time ago, I spoke with someone, and she said that I should just be. And at that time in my life, I was just trying so hard. I was trying constantly, right? And I remember thinking, I'm just trying. And she said, just be. And I got so upset. I was like, what do you mean, just be? I have to try. Well, that was probably like maybe 19 or 20 years ago. And I've learned that while I am doing, I have to be myself. I have to just flow. I have to be, right? Can I work hard? Absolutely. Am I allowed to give it my all and go? Yes. Can I try? Yes. But I don't need to be in a constant frame of mind where I am just trying. There needs to be a space where I am being myself. Out of that, I ended up creating a website and a brand and writing books called Being Mrs. Mom. I ended up doing that. I ended up really embracing who I am as a woman, a wife, and a mother. It even gave me space and room to grow into the coach, consultant, and digital agency owner that I am today. And I didn't even realize or understand what that was going to do for me. But in that space, I was frustrated. I was frustrated because I was trying so hard, and someone said just be. And at that time, I was upset about it. But over time, it made more sense. It made more sense that when I was just flowing in who I naturally am and becoming and allowing myself to just be who I am, right? That is where I flourish. That is where I do my best. That is where I give my best and I help people the best. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. So figure out where you do best at, right? What is your environment for cultivation? Like, where do you flourish? Figure out where you flourish. Think about what it is that you want to do and just start doing it. Don't hesitate. Don't make yourself feel like you can't do these things. I mentioned the other day that, there may be something in you and you may be feeling like you need to try this new thing, you need to give it a go. Go ahead and do it. There's nothing wrong with trying it. If you don't succeed at it the way that you thought you were going to, scratch it, do something else, come back to it later. But you will never know how well you would have done if you did not try. Okay? If you did not put forth that effort and do what it is that you're wanting to do. So, as I said, I don't want to start babbling. I just wanted to kind of encourage you to, be yourself, to to walk in excellence and not aim for perfection. And that's all I have for this evening. I hope that this was helpful. If you found it helpful over on Instagram, give me a one or a thumbs up. Same thing over here in Clubhouse and everywhere else. Give me a thumbs up and a one so I know that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know that I'm Mrs. Makita Rod on all platforms. And oh, I got some thumbs. Okay. Thank you. So, all right. So that's what I have for you this evening. Connect with me again, as I said the other day. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to message me. We can have conversation. And then I do want to invite you over into my Facebook group. So it's going to be Facebook / I believe it's groups, and then it says Success for Me. And in that group, we're going to be connecting a lot around creating your dream business and just being encouraged to be your best and to reach high and do all the things that you have been created and designed to do. So that's it for tonight. Y'all have a good one. Until next time. Bye. Okie dokie.